Weird Way Media.
Hello, Twisted Humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alicia. And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked. Hello and welcome to episode 162 of your favorite podcast. Today I have a cult to tell you about that I really kind of need to talk about in cult terms, because if I don't remind myself that this is a cult that has done terrible things, I might want to join.
Why do you
And
want to
I
join
think-
every cult that you cover?
Listen,
I gotta call you out
it's
on
dangerous. You might want to join this one too before
Oh,
I tell you
shit.
the terrible things.
it. Okay.
But I think they know that I want to join, okay? Because I have literally been getting ads for this cult, like join us ads, okay? For real. It's terrifying. But first, fun facts.
My fun fact is that Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise. The rest
That
of them
is
spin
very
counterclockwise.
interesting.
I thought that was crazy. Space is
Yeah.
terrifying in and of itself, but I thought that was very interesting.
I wonder why it does that.
I
That's so
Let
strange.
me hold on. Let me just scroll down here. Let me see if it tells me anything else. Every 225 Earth days, Venus travels around the sun, but Venus rotates clockwise once every 243 days. It did not explain any of that to me. But that's what it says. That's what my website says from Fun Facts.
All right. Fun times.
Let your imagination run wild. I kept it short and sweet because Sierra told me her story was a little longer today. So
It is a long one.
What's your
My
fun
fun
fact?
fact is something that I found out recently that just had me dying laughing. So in 2006, a movie came out called Idiocracy, right? We've all seen Idiocracy, maybe. It's about how the world is going to shit. And because everybody's a bunch of idiots, right? Everybody starts, instead of drinking water, they drink basically Mountain Dew only. And, the whole
I would
world is
die.
run by the mega corporation Mountain Dew, except it's not Mountain Dew because they're not allowed to use Mountain Dew. But anyway,
If it was
this was
Baja Blast,
2006.
I might be okay. But
No, I mean, like, they even water their plants with it and stuff. Like, yeah. Like, the
Ugh.
world is literally falling apart. And this guy, you have to watch it. Like,
Okay.
you really have to.
All
I
right.
can't believe you
All
haven't
right.
seen it.
Yeah, I'm
Damn.
like nodding along, like I
Um,
know what she's talking about, guys. And then I was like, no.
Yeah, this guy comes back. Had been, like, frozen or, cryogenic sleep or whatever for, like, 30 years or something, 300, I don't know, a bunch of years. And he comes back and basically convinces them to reverse everything back to when he was alive, when, like, you watered your plants with water and shit,
Oh.
because they're all fucking dumb and they think they know better. Anyway, that seems to be where America is going,
That's terrifying.
sadly. And here's one of the reasons why, okay? In this movie, 2006, the set designer, the person who was in charge of, like, wardrobe, wanted to find shoes that were futuristic looking but so stupid that they would never take off, right? Because it's a stupid movie. They
Yeah.
want everyone to be stupid. So the shoes that every single person in this movie wears are Crocs.
Stop it.
Fucking Crocs. They're actual Crocs. The wardrobe lady was like, there's no fucking way these shoes will ever become popular. And guess what? Look at all of us fucking idiots wearing Crocs. Okay.
And then buying the little doodads that go on them.
Yeah.
Somebody's screaming at me.
Gibbets.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ridiculous.
I like it though.
Ridiculous.
It goes with the idiotic theme.
I mean, it sucks though that we're fucking idiots now, is what I'm saying, okay? Because Crocs are popular as shit. Why did we turn into Idiocracy?
This
You have to
movie
watch
from
the movie
2006 has predicted the future, guys. A little
in the
bit.
worst way. You have got to watch it.
I will.
Because I think you'd be more mind blown if you did.
Okay. I'm gonna watch it.
But yeah,
I'm
insane.
mind blown without having
Ask Kevin
seen
about it. I guarantee Kevin has seen it.
Kevin has seen like every fucking movie ever.
Yeah,
He'll
but
talk
it's
to me about
just-
something and he's like, you've never seen that. It's like you and me talking to each other.
Yeah.
You're like, how have you never seen that? What is wrong with you? I grew up under a rock, apparently. And dealing with idiots, you got to cope with that. So naturally, we need a cold beverage on this hot, hot summer day. We are on a white wine week where we would have been drinking white wine sangria. I had a recipe picked out, but I was not ready to record today. So I prioritized eating dinner over making my sangria. So sue me. But the recipe it looks really good. I'm going to drink it this weekend with a couple of friends. It is white wine. You take a glass and you muddle together watermelon and mint leaves. You add your white wine, a splash of lemonade, and top it with soda water. And it's kind of like a white wine watermelon lemonade spritzer type thing. I stole the recipe from a restaurant that I went to.
Sounds
Not
very good.
stole, but got the inspiration for it. There's other ingredients in the one that was at the restaurant, but I wanted to keep it light and simple. And I have a mint plant outside and a whole watermelon in the fridge, so it felt perfect.
When I was in Bahrain, one of the days we went on like this tour thing and we ended up in a bar restaurant place and they had a watermelon mojito and it was fucking amazing.
That's
and it
what it was
sounds
inspired from.
like this. Yeah.
Yeah. I love a mojito personally. Maybe we should drink that for our next live. There we go. It'll be the end of summer. It'll still be hot and refreshing. I am just drinking white wine and water right now because I just finished a hot yoga class. So gotta hydrate. And
Yes,
I'm guessing Sierra
always
has a
drinking
Stanley
water.
of water.
Listen, as an esthetician, water is good for your skin. I will never not drink my water.
Why do you think I drink this behemoth every day?
All right, we are going to get into this in just one quick minute after we hear a promo from the podcast Curiosity Killed the Case. So there is a little bit of backstory needed here because all of my stories come with a backstory. All right. So I was on Reddit looking up cults. You got to figure out what I'm going to cover. Okay.
Casual
And I
Tuesday
came
night.
across, right, exactly. I came across one that seemed interesting in a good way, like Unarius. I like it, right? And I was like, okay, I need to look into this some more, see what the big deal is, because clearly someone on Reddit has some more information than I do that leads them to believe it's not a good place. It was on a list of like the craziest cults you've ever heard of, right? Okay, so I filed it away in my brain for later. I was at my mother-in-law's house at the time while I was on Reddit on my phone. And then I drove home. All right, this is important. Okay, I go home. I forgot about it as one does. All right. And I started watching Project Fear on YouTube with the kiddos.
Oh, I'm so behind. No spoilers.
So we're just watching TV. This not even in my brain right now. Okay. Jesse got home from work, piled into the bed with us. We started watching some octopus documentary because we had to, watch something to get our minds off of the ghosts.
Mhm.
And Jesse, sitting next to me, was scrolling on his phone, watching funny videos. I was leaning over, watching them with him. And then suddenly, I see an ad talking about this cult. Okay. And
Ew,
I was
it's
like,
already in your head. This is
I was
Jesse's
like,
phone.
what? Jesse's phone at my house. So it's not the Wi-Fi because I wasn't at home when I looked it up.
And it's not like
Okay.
you were talking about it out loud because you
Yep.
were with your family. Ew.
Exactly.
Oh, that's scary.
mhm.
Okay. All right.
So I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard of this before today. Suddenly it's on his phone. Talk about Big Brother, right? I could not believe it, but I was like, okay, well, thanks, Big Brother. Give me this documentary so I can watch it. We watched through the whole advertisement. Turns out it wasn't a documentary. It was literally an ad for the cult. Like, come and join us. Like, they have ads. Okay, they are
What?
currently going on. Currently have ads.
I don't
Super
think we've
fucking
ever
freaky.
covered a cult like that. That's wild.
Yeah. So because of all of that, I do have to say, for the sake of not being sued, that I am reiterating things in this episode that I have read on the internet. Everything I say is alleged by someone else, someone listed in the sources that we have for you guys to read. Everything else is simply my opinion based on the things I have read. So basically, you can't sue me. None of this is fact. Wink, wink, wink.
Or
Okay.
me, by proxy.
All right. So the cult. It's called Ramtha's School of Enlightenment. And it started as a sort of life coaching or self-help experience.
Red flag.
The group was started by a woman who now goes by J.Z. Knight, but she was born Judith Darlene Hampton in Roswell, New Mexico in 1946, which coincidentally is the same place where the famous Roswell aliens incidents happened just 1 year after she was born.
Coincidence?
Interesting. When she was a baby, one of her mom's friends, who was described as a spiritual Native American, allegedly told her mom that one day Judith would be able to see things that others could not. Judith was not raised in Roswell. They moved to East Texas when she was just 2 years old. She grew up with her mother, having multiple husbands, usually abusive and no good, trying to care for Judith and her 7 siblings while picking cotton on farms.
Wow.
She grew up poor and in a bad situation, even having been sexually assaulted by an uncle at a very young age.
No.
But when she was an elementary school kid, she was taken to church by a family member and she fell in love with God. So much so that she created her own little Bible study group where she would tell the other neighborhood kids about what she learned. However, as soon as Judith was able to start really understanding and questioning the Bible, she decided that Christianity was very wrong. She knew in her heart and mind that it wasn't God that was wrong. He was good and loving, a good and loving person, but that Christians were teaching about him wrong, and the Bible was wrong. So her spirituality became more of a private thing, and she had godly sessions with the God she knew right in her own bedroom. Allegedly in 8th grade, while at a sleepover, now living back in New Mexico, but not in Roswell, Judith saw a UFO. I don't think she thought it was aliens. She felt it must have been something to do with God. And then once in high school, her friends had made a pact to come back to each other after death so they could confirm that there were sleepovers in heaven. Judith went to business school for college. Basically all that to say, she's always been pretty spiritual, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Judith went to business school for college back in Texas in 1965 and had to work to try to afford it. But because she was working so hard, she got sick from malnourishment. While she was in the hospital recovering, she claimed she had a ghostly experience where one of her high school friends was coming to say goodbye after passing away. So one of those friends that they made a pact with, she saw them. After this incident, she dropped out of college, got back in touch with some of her other high school friends, the still alive ones, and quickly married a man she went to school with. Nostalgia. She had 2 children with this man, but almost just as quickly, she got divorced from this man and had to raise her boys on her own.
Did she sperm jack this man?
No, he was also an abusive alcoholic like her father was.
Gotcha. Like you said quickly married, so I'm like,
they got married after 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's bold.
But they went to high school together and her high school friend had just died. So I think like literally it was nostalgia. She was like, oh my God, I missed you so much. Let's get married.
We're comforting.
And then she was like, just kidding. What the fuck did I just do?
Yeah, makes sense.
So she moved back to Roswell, got a job as a door-to-door cable salesperson. She was actually extremely good at this job, though. She was charismatic and was able to predict when a customer would and would not purchase from the cable company. This is because she was very persuasive and just needed the right kind of client to convince that they needed cable. In this position as a salesperson, Judith only wore black and white. And because of this, she earned the affectionate nickname Zebra from her coworkers. Judith would go by Judy Zebra for a while, before eventually shortening it even more to just Jay-Z. Jay-Z got many promotions in this job, and she moved up the ranks, taking her to California, and then eventually she relocated to Washington State to set up a franchise. She was actually given the choice between going to Pennsylvania and going to Washington State. She based her decision on the word of a spiritual medium she had recently spoken with in the early 70s. This medium told her that she would live in a beautiful place with mountains and pine trees, and there she would meet the one. So she chose Washington State because that's where mountains and pine trees are. Being that this was in the 70s, the decade of love and peace, I assume that the medium was probably a quack and was telling her that she was going to meet the love of her life, right? The one. You're going to meet the one. However, Jay-Z allegedly, or maybe eventually, took it to mean that she was going to meet the enlightened one.
Oh.
Yeah. In 1973, now in Washington, things started to go wrong, but Jay-Z turned them into rights. So the company that owned the franchise tanked. Jay-Z started up her own cable marketing company, which quickly did really well. Then she got cancer, but the chemotherapy was really helping her, and eventually she beat it. And then in 1977, she met a man, Jeremy Knight, who, like Jay-Z, had a love for nature and God. She decided this was the man she wanted to help raise her sons, who were about preteens now. They got married that same year, and the very next year, she would meet the one. It was the middle of the day in 1978. She and her husband were just sitting in the kitchen, making little pyramid shapes out of paper, and suddenly Jay-Z looks up to see an ethereal being standing in front of her. He was 7 feet tall, with sparkling gold skin that seemed to be emitting light.
Did she
Dancing
meet Edward
black
Cullen,
eyes.
though? Just a quick
He had-
question.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He had dancing black eyes, was wearing a purple and white robe, was surrounded by a blue aura. He told her, I am Ramtha, the Enlightened One. I have come to help you over the ditch. He also said that the Father in heaven knew very much about her, and he was going to help her become her best self, starting with moving out of her house in the next 5 days. So she bought a new house and went to talk to a priest who told her that she was probably a medium, and whoever this spirit was using her as a channel to communicate on Earth. And almost immediately, she said that Ramtha told her that she should share his message with others, but that she should charge them each $100.
I doubt that that's what he said.
Why would a spirit want her to charge people money? I don't fucking know. Anyway.
That sounds like a scam.
So let's talk about these messages, which became the foundation of the cult, which, by the way, becomes so successful that she quit her job, quit her business, eventually divorced her husband. She's just a cult leader now. Okay. Jay-Z Knight teaches this is where you get sucked in. All right. Okay. So far, it's a little like, meh, whatever you say, lady.
Red flags all around.
Yeah. But then this happens. Okay.
Okay.
Jay-Z Knight teaches that, quote unquote, God is inside of each of us, and that you can basically tap into your own abilities if you learn to understand and use them. Here's a quote from the website. Quote, God lives within you. The power to create reality is in you. It is our divine right, by virtue of free will and the power to reason and think for ourselves. The ability to observe and make choices from the infinite possibilities is the quantum field. The kingdom God is what makes us divine. End quote. So basically, she's like, you can manifest your own reality. And I am all about this. This is my same belief. I don't call it God, I call it the universe, but everything about it I agree with, in that sentiment. This is exactly what the School of Enlightenment teaches people: how to control your own body and brain to do things that others think of as just make-believe magic, like mediumship, lucid dreaming, psychicness, astral projection, and possibly even time travel. I so badly want this to not be a cult, because I would love to learn to use my brain the right way to do these things, because I truly believe that it can be done. but not here at Ramtha's School of Enlightenment.
No.
So Jay-Z is allegedly a spiritual medium, right, that can channel the god Ramtha. Ramtha is a 35,000-year-old warrior. What's interesting about this, though, is that Jay-Z underwent medical examination to prove that she is not herself when she is channeling Ramtha. They
Okay.
tracked her body temperature, her sweat, her blood pressure, things like that, when she was herself versus when she was channeling Ramtha. And there were scientific differences. However, that's the same method they use to detect if you're lying during a polygraph, and we know how accurate those are. So maybe she's just clenching her butt cheeks. She also had her DNA tested through cheek swabs as herself and as channeling Ramtha.
Okay.
As herself, 3 different laboratories said she had French European descent. And as Ramtha, those same 3 different laboratories said she had Native American Viking descent. However, her own personal physician is the one who did the cheek swabs, so we have to trust him to actually believe this. Like, whose cheek did you actually fucking swab, buddy?
Right.
Even with all of that weirdness being said, I can see why someone would be drawn to this cult. Ramtha, the god, even says that he's capable of, quote, conjuring up spirits such as Mothman, quote, and can teach followers to do it too. So,
Okay,
like, he's
sir.
fucking friends with Mothman.
Okay. I thought we were onto a good thing here, and you haven't introduced us to Mothman? Okay. I'm pissed now.
Allegedly, there is photo evidence of conjuring up Mothman, but you have to join to see it. You have to pay for that.
Okay.
It's almost enough to make me join. Like, I just let me fucking see.
Let
And
me
then,
see
I mean,
Mothman and then I'll get out.
on top of that, learning how to hone in on your spiritual abilities, this is all fun things. But once you get in, things get weird. Okay.
Okay.
How it's done, the subtle messages in the teachings, it's problematic. Starting with a photo that I was going to show you, and I forgot to put it in the drive. So let me do that really quick. The photo was taken in a field at the Ramtha School of Enlightenment and is of a few followers wearing blindfolds. According to former members, the practice with these blindfolds in the field was literal blind faith in yourself. Jay-Z, or Ramtha, would have everyone put on blindfolds. Allegedly, she would even duct tape them to people so they couldn't take them off or cheat. And then she would tell these people to empty their minds, focus on the void, and run at full speed until they felt they should stop.
What?
Not one at a time, all together, aimed in random directions.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Again, according to those former members, people literally ran into each other at full speed, sustaining injuries and concussions, and had to be taken to the hospital.
Well, yeah.
But I guess those members were just doing it wrong. And the ones who refused to come back after being hurt were just not strong enough to become
Okay.
godlike.
All
They were
right.
weak, they gave up. Another practice that is similar and more widely admitted is the practice of drawing a thing, whatever you want, on a piece of paper, pinning that piece of paper to the fence that surrounds the field, and then putting on a blindfold, spinning around in circles, and attempting to find your specific drawing without being able to see. That doesn't sound as crazy, but again, everyone is still doing this all at the same time, so it's still pretty dangerous. And by the way, people pay about $450 for this 1 day experience.
That's not good enough price for a possible concussion.
Yeah, there are a few other activities involved in this price for the 1 day thing, such as group meditation, synchronized breathing, and a dance party. But still, that seems like a hefty price for possibly getting hurt. Other extremely dangerous practices and teachings is not needing modern medicine. Even though Jay-Z herself had gotten and survived cancer with the help of chemotherapy, she didn't actually believe that the chemotherapy was the reason she survived. She believed that she basically wished it away, which is really interesting. And I do believe that there are some things that are mind over matter.
Absolutely.
But in my opinion, you also have to understand that mind over matter can also mean other people's minds, like the mind of a doctor, because they fucking learned how to treat that shit.
To the extent that they could.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that like positive
affirmations, yeah,
does help your body
Yeah.
fight, diseases. Like when you're
Right.
feeling like a bag of shit, if you keep telling yourself, I feel like crap, I don't want to go to work, I'm not going to get through the day, blah, blah, chances are you're going to keep feeling like crap. I mean, yeah, there's instances where your body wins and is like, no, bitch, you're sick, stay down. But you know what I mean.
Yes, I
It's
do.
got to be a balance of the two.
Yep. On top of not needing modern medicine, Jay-Z/Ramtha believes that you won't ever need it because you're not going to get sick in the first place, as long as you are controlling yourself correctly. Basically, you have to manifest your own health. And if you do get sick, then that's because you wanted to, or because you were too weak in your manifesting and that you need to practice and be stronger. You laugh. Let me continue. That includes
Does it get worse?
Any child. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Any child that is born with a disability, she alleged that she believes, allegedly, that they wanted to be disabled.
Oh, sure.
It wasn't God who made them that way. It was them in their formation of the womb who chose to be disabled or autistic or whatever their genetic makeup is. And some former members claimed that she felt this way about victims of crime as well. Anyone who was a victim of anything after being a member and knowing how to manifest their reality must have wanted to be a victim because they created that reality for themselves.
Damn. If that was true, me and Sierra would already be dead.
The former members say that she holds like a court of sorts for her members on the property when issues arise. And allegedly, one issue arose where an older man had sexually assaulted an underage child. I believe they were 14, but it doesn't matter. And when it was brought up in the Jay-Z-Ramtha court, she said that the child manifested that for herself. She wanted it.
Okay, children
And
don't
she
even
never
know what that
reported the
is.
crime.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids don't even know what that shit is. How can they wish something on themselves that's horrific and traumatizing?
Yeah, so
And
manifesting
gross.
your own reality is not as perfect as it seems, apparently. Yeah.
I like to believe we can manifest good things into our existence. Not that. I mean, life is already hard enough. Why would you want to start off at a disadvantage? Why would you be like, feeling up for the challenge for the next 80 years? Let's put me in a wheelchair. Like, what? I'm I can't.
I don't understand. I mean, I know there are people in the world who truly, what's the word, maybe thrive as being a victim. Like, there are
Yes.
people who put themselves in situations.
Absolutely.
But 99% of victims or people who are disabled or whatever, 99% of people in hardships do not want them.
No. Especially not children and people who have not lived enough to even know what half the shit is.
Yeah. Also, I feel like it doesn't make sense because so what if I'm manifesting that I want this podcast to fucking die? Like I'm done with it. While Alicia's manifesting that she wants it to survive. Who wins? You know? Like that's why this doesn't fucking make sense. That child did not manifest wanting to be sexually assaulted, but maybe that man manifested wanted to sexually assault and get away with it. You know
I
what I
would just
mean?
like to clarify, guys, she
who
doesn't want the
wins?
podcast to die. Please go leave a
No, I was
5-star
trying
rating.
to I was trying to give opposites, but I didn't want to use like humans.
Health.
So I
Fair.
went with
Fair.
podcast instead.
But to clarify, go leave those reviews because it means a lot to us and it's the best way to spread the word. Kid, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye. No, don't leave. Okay.
Don't leave. Yeah, no, stay for the rest of
Um,
this. I'm stuck here.
Speaking of the weird court thing, let's talk about the property for a minute. I have a photo if you want to pull up the picture of the property.
What the fuck is that? That looks like a giant ball pit.
Jay-Z purchased an 800-acre ranch.
And made it into
Sorry,
a ball
it's
pit.
not 800, it's 80. No, those are tents.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
An 80-acre, not 800. Jay-Z purchased an 80-acre ranch in Yelm, Washington to host her cult. It's all fenced in, and on the property is her house, which is 12,800 square feet. I don't know how big your house is, but mine is 1,000 square feet. So that's like 13 of my houses put
Yeah,
together.
mine's 1,200 square feet. So
Yeah. Also on the property is a horse arena where she used to breed and train horses, but now she uses it as her auditorium to give speeches and presentations and probably court hearings. That auditorium is 15,000 square feet big, so bigger than the fucking house.
So to clarify, is this
There
whole
is,
thing the property? Like
that's not
extending
even all of
outside
it.
of the photo? Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah. That's not even. Yeah, that's just a bit of it.
Okay.
Um, and then there's a huge parking lot for visitors and members, a huge field for events, a huge separate field for people to set up tents, because even though she has all this space in her building, she makes them sleep outside. Not surprised. There are also rumored to be some underground doomsday bunkers, but I don't know if people are living in them or if they're waiting to be used like when the end of the world comes, because she believes it is coming and you have to be prepared to survive it.
Absolutely.
But that part is sort of a newer belief. So let me tell you about the evolution of her beliefs.
I'm sorry
When
that
she
I said that looks
started,
like a ball pit, but it really does.
yeah, those are tents. Those are all tents that people live in outside while she lives in her 12,800 square foot home.
And sorry, this is still in Washington.
Yes, Yelm, Washington.
So it's fucking wet here, guys. All right.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
cool.
very close to Seattle, I believe, or
Yeah.
Tacoma, one of those.
Very similar weather that I deal with.
Yeah. So when she started the cult in the late 80s, it was all very spiritual. In the 90s, it turned a little bit more political, and she was on the side of the Democrats. She eventually started donating tens of thousands of dollars to the Democratic Party in the 2000s, but then something happened. A member of the cult had decided this was definitely a cult, but stayed with the group to sort of infiltrate or keep an eye on things. When you join or go to a class there, you have to sign like a waiver or non-disclosure agreement. Basically, people spend a lot of money on these things, and Jay-Z doesn't want to miss out on a penny of it. So you're not allowed to tell anyone about what you learned. They have to come and learn it themselves. No videos, no recordings, nothing. But this person decided to record some stuff. They were at what they call a wine gathering one night. Basically, red wine is served to everyone. They all get together in the horse stadium, and Jay-Z slash Ramtha got super drunk and started slurring her words as well as using slur words.
Oh.
In the video that was released, Jay-Z is heard talking into a microphone to her followers while laughing about Christians, members of the LGBTQ plus group,
Rude.
members of people of Mexican descent,
Rude.
Catholics, and even Jewish people.
Rude.
I am so sorry for what I am about to say, but it needs to be said so that people understand just how bad this cult really is.
Okay.
According to the source that I found, one quote from the video was, quote, "Fuck God's chosen people. I think they have earned enough cash to have paid their way out of the goddamned gas chamber by now." End quote.
Wow.
Can you even believe that these words came out of a fucking human?
No,
Like, what the actual fuck?
not cool.
Not at all. Okay. So that's that. The video has been mostly scrubbed from the internet, from what I can find. She like sued people and made them take it down because it was part of a non-disclosure. But I did find a short news clip about it with her speaking in the background. And while I didn't hear her say that exact phrase, I doubt someone made it up. And I did hear her say things about wasting money on quote unquote fucking Jews and Catholic priests being quote unquote fucking homosexuals. So all bad things.
Yeah, not very nice.
Not very nice. This was during the time that Jay-Z was donating money to Obama's election campaign. And when the video was leaked, Jay-Z's excuse was that she wasn't the one saying those things. She didn't even believe those things. It was Ramtha who said and believed it, and she can't control what he says or believes.
But you're gonna follow somebody that does believe those things?
Like,
that's just as bad.
Shitty fucking excuse.
Yeah.
You're charging people to listen to and follow what Ramtha believes.
Yeah. But you don't believe it, and I would never say those things.
Yeah. Anyway, the Democratic Party gave back all the money that she donated because clearly she's a disgusting fucking person. Since then,
you know it's bad when they don't even want your money.
Yeah. They're like, nah, I'm good. You can have that.
Yeah.
Since then, she, or I guess Ramtha, has had a change of political stance, and they have spoken about how Trump is a good president and was meant to win the election and will help them / all people in the end of the world.
Ew.
As well as touting anti-vaccine rhetoric.
Okay.
They have allegedly gone full QAnon and even, again, allegedly, sent many of their followers and members to the January 6th insurrection. If all of that isn't bad enough and you still think maybe I should join this cult, let me tell you about the deaths.
I was going to say, I don't think those people are listening to the show anymore. They've already left to join.
Let me start by saying that the big issue revolving around death in this cult is that Jay-Z / Ramtha, I think it's Ramtha, but it might be Ramtha. Anyway, I say both ways. But they believe so strictly in reincarnation that she basically says not to fear death because it'll be fine once you're reborn. But not only is death not off limits, she thinks of murder the same way, saying, quote, "In a divinity, if we are immortal and we're going to live again, then how could murder be wrong?" End quote. Basically, who cares if you murder someone? They're going to come back to life anyway. So, that's extremely fucking problematic. You've lost me, you know? If I wanted to join this cult for Mothman, I don't anymore. I don't think Mothman even likes you.
No, Mothman is the ultimate anti-hero.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want that.
No. Possible links to death because of this exact phrase include the Sandy Hook shooting.
No.
According to police, it likely, quote, has no provable connection, but they also didn't look very deep into it because the shooter was not officially enrolled in the school. But the mother of the Sandy Hook shooting, who he also killed before going on his killing spree, had planned to take her son to Ramtha's School of Enlightenment and had showed him videos and information about it before the shooting happened. He had videos on his computer of Ramtha. Who knows what his motive for this attack was, but Jay-Z / Ramtha talks of murder being fine, dying being fine, and needing to prepare yourself to survive anything, including the end of the world with weapons and bunkers and off-grid survivalist gear, probably did not help his mental state.
No.
Another murder situation happened in South Africa. when an older couple shot and killed a police officer and injured another before going on the run and then killing themselves. They had been living
An
in a
older
home.
couple? How old?
Mhm. I believe they were 65 and 58 or something like that.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't hear about
Right.
older people going off and doing that shit. It's usually
Yeah.
like dumbass 20-year-olds.
Right.
All right. I'm not saying what they did
Um,
was okay. I'm just kind of impressed.
impressed. I don't know if that's the right word,
That's
but
not
yes,
the
I know
right
what you
word, but
mean.
you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
living on the lam, not for everyone, including myself. You will not find me on the lam.
They had been living in a home that they rented from friends, but these friends were noticing strange behaviors lately and decided it wasn't safe for them to live on their property anymore. And so they attempted to evict the couple. When the couple refused to leave, they asked the police to come and help them. That is when the couple opened fire on the police. After all was said and done, the police found a bunch of survivalist gear, medical supplies, guns, and notes and guides from Ramtha's School of Enlightenment. Jay-Z said that this murder-suicide has nothing to do with her or her school, and that she hadn't personally spoken to this couple in many years. But the issue is that whether or not she personally speaks to them, her classes and teachings are on the internet for anyone to pay for and watch. In a statement from Jay-Z after the deaths, she addressed the family of the fallen officer and immediately turned the incident into one in which she was a victim, saying, quote, to the family of Jacob Bellamy, we know that no words can console such a loss. Still, our hearts go out to you. This unfortunate atrocity affects us all, and many lives have been impacted by these horrific events. End quote.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, God damn it. This officer died, and now my school is taking a hit. Bitch, shut up.
Take ownership for putting shit out there that people have taken to heart and have caused harm with. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. In another incident in which being members of RSE, Ramtha School of Enlightenment, ended in death, a Roman couple completed suicide. The village that they lived in when they died was one of 200 people in Italy who all follow the word of RSE.
200 people?
200,
Like just
an
one
entire
whole ass
village.
village. That's crazy.
Yes, an entire village. Yeah. The only motivation that police and others could come up with for this suicide was an end of the world type scenario, or one in which the couple believed, through Jay-Z/Ramtha's teachings, that they would be better off dead in this life and reborn into a different one. Former members of RSE who created or joined a group that they now call LARS, Life After Ramtha's School of Enlightenment, explained that Jay-Z is a spiritual predator who brainwashes members and makes them paranoid. In teaching them about how to control their own brains and abilities, she also teaches them that they need to be prepared for anything. She doesn't give exact dates, but does say that problems are coming their way, including epidemics and Jehovah coming down in a spaceship with lizard people who may or may not already be on Earth, and that even Ramtha cannot protect everyone from the lizard people. I think anyone who truly believes that may become too scared to want to live to see that day.
Of course.
Like, it sucks that people believe that because, like, what the fuck? But also, once you do, it's hard to think about other things.
I'm just always so blown away in cults that you can, like, from Scientology to,
Yeah.
like, you can say the most outrageous sentences and people are like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? I
They're
wish I was that
literally
charismatic to
brainwashed.
be like, Twisted and Uncorked is the best fucking podcast ever. Go tell your friends. But,
Well, I mean, Joe Rogan did it, so.
Joe Rogan is his own cult leader.
He's a cult leader.
I also
JK,
just
don't sue.
Googled, yeah, no, please don't. We can't afford if you
If
do.
Joe Rogan listens to this podcast, you know what? Fuck it. Just talk about it.
If Joe Rogan listens to this podcast, we've got nothing else to do.
So maybe Jay-Z can hide behind freedom of speech. She's not forcing people to do these things or even telling them to do it. They're doing it on their own after just hearing what she says. But aside from these deaths, she is also just reckless about taking care of people. She once hugged a woman with cancer and claimed she was cured. The woman died of the cancer. She was not fucking cured. She should have went to the hospital.
Yeah.
She once had all her followers, allegedly, according to former members.
Okay.
That cancer thing, yeah. She once had all of her followers sleep in the dusty floor of the horse stadium back when the horses were still there because it would be, quote, good for the energy.
That's how you get pink eye. That's not good for any energy.
One older woman didn't want to stay because she was feeling sick. She wouldn't let the woman leave until the next day, allegedly. That woman, allegedly, died of pneumonia from inhaling all the dust and the humidity in the arena. For about 5 years, allegedly, she had people drinking a mix of dead seawater mixed with red devil lye in order to have enlightening experiences.
Sure, you're not supposed to drink seawater.
Or lye.
Okay, I don't know what lye is, so I can't speak to
Like
that.
chemical, like
Okay, yeah, I do know what that is.
yeah,
Okay.
like bad. Like I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that helps decompose bodies.
Oh,
Like I'm pretty sure that's what people pour down their drain in the bathtub when they're trying to get bodies down. Like, yeah. Anyway, people were getting sick and
no
losing their
shit.
hair. But she said it was good for them. Allegedly. This is what Lars has said. Okay. Ramtha also believes that this one's for real. I watched the video of this one, okay? Not alleged, fucking fact. Ramtha believes that everyone has an immortality gene in them. We just don't know how to access it because we have too many feelings and emotions. But there is one thing Jay-Z, Ramtha, both of them say that can help us access our immortality gene. And it can be found in Twinkies.
I gotta go. Are you
So
fucking
eat your
kidding
Twinkies.
me? Twinkies
No.
are like
Yes.
fucking indestructible. They are
Maybe that's
what
why
we
she
want.
thinks.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why she thinks they make you immortal because they are immortal.
that's what I mean. Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah.
they've survived like nuclear
Fallout. Yeah.
fallouts.
Like crazy shit.
I don't think you should put Twinkies in your body.
Yeah. But you'll live forever.
I've been
As
doing
of
it
right
all
now.
wrong.
As of right now, Ramtha School of Enlightenment is still going strong. So strong that they're sending me join us ads.
No, I'm
More
probably gonna
than
get them.
I
Great.
know. More than 86,000 people worldwide have attended events at RSE since it first started in the late 80s.
That's insane.
Week-long events cost about $1,000, and there are about 50 events per year. As I said, many members live on the property in tents, but many of her teachings are online, so there are members all over the world following along.
Why are
And
they
I promise
why are all cults so
online.
expensive?
Oh yeah, they're expensive as fuck. I promise you they are following specifically her if they're following because Jay-Z Knight is sue happy. She sued multiple people who were claiming to also be teaching Ramtha's beliefs and eventually even bought a copyright for Ramtha's teachings. So like this supposed ethereal warrior came down to teach people about how to become your own god. And she's like, no, bitch, he's mine. You're not allowed. I copyrighted this guy. That's ridiculous.
I don't even know what to say about this lady at this point.
Um, yeah, if he was actually some sort of god that wanted to help people, I don't think he would appreciate her keeping all of the knowledge to herself. But
No,
anyway,
no. Isn't it the whole saying God loves all?
yeah, God loves Jay-Z Knight the most, apparently.
Apparently.
In 2007, it was reported that between the school and her sales, she was making $2.7 million per year. That was in 2007. So that was the last time it
It's
was
an
reported. Can only
unfathomable amount of money now.
imagine. Yeah, let me look it up actually. Why didn't I do that?
Time money converter.
Yes, 2.7 million in 2007 today. 3 million. Sorry, not
Still.
billion.
Okay.
Yes, still. A
Still a
million
lot
is
of
still a
fucking
lot.
money. Yeah. Sign me up for $1 million. Thanks.
Yeah.
Somebody taking
Um,
tabs? Like, is there a wait list or
for getting $3 million?
yeah, just put me on the
Just
wait
ask
list.
Elon Musk. He's got enough millions. Um,
Dear Elon Musk
uh,
and Joe Rogan.
he's one of the lizard people that she's warning about.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know what? If he wants to
probably.
give me $3 million, he can go be whatever he wants to be.
um, Jay-Z Knight has published over 600 books, CDs, and videos, and
Stop
has
it.
translated them into 18 different languages.
Herself.
I don't know.
So that'd be pretty
Think
impressive.
about it. 18 different languages of people are listening /
Yeah, that's
reading.
terrifying.
That's scary. The most famous book is called Ramtha's White Book, and it discusses the main original point of the story that explains that each of us have the power to become godlike and manifest our own reality. I can see why it's so popular. People talk about it all over spiritual TikTok. I might have wanted to read it before I did all this research, but I worry that others don't realize it's connected to a cult. And I worry that they might get themselves brainwashed and sucked into something that could ruin their lives financially or legally. That's why I wanted to cover this. Those little cults that haven't been exposed yet are the most dangerous because they are still recruiting and taking advantage of people. So, yeah, when I was doing research for this, all I kept hearing about was how awesome Ramtha's White Book is. The book helps change people's lives, manifesting their own reality, finding happiness. And I get it, but also it's a fucking cult.
Yeah.
So makes me nervous.
Yeah. You got to be very critical when reading certain things. I feel.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's scary. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all about manifestation. Me and Sierra made vision boards together. That's manifesting in and of itself. But our manifesting isn't hurting anyone.
Yeah, it is it's fucking creepy. And I hope that anyone who had thought about reading it or joining or signing up for classes hears this episode and thinks against it.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking scary.
Yeah, I agree. Join this cult instead, where we educate you about these types of things.
Yeah.
And don't charge you $1,000 for a week of nonsense.
No, but you can pay $1 for monthly Urban Legend episodes and no ads.
Right? That's a steal if you ask me in comparison. But that was crazy. I've never heard of this cult either.
Yeah. It's again, like I so badly am like, I really want to know what this is about.
Right.
Because the thought of like I'm one of the prime target audience. Like the thought of being able to tap into those spiritual abilities. Like, I believe in that. I believe that that's true. I don't think I believe that she actually knows how. I think she's a freaking psychopath. But I do believe that you could do that. And I'm like, what if that book is good? What if that book tells you how? And then I'm like, she straight up said that fucking Jewish people should pay their way out of fucking gas chambers. Like, that is beyond fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, so, oh my God.
You
She's a
gotta
terrible human being.
You gotta channel your third eye, Sierra.
Yeah. Yeah. The state of Washington has a lot of hippy dippy type people. And I get so nervous for people living over there, like, who might get sucked in, you know?
I do too. But I mean, that's kind of just like the Pacific Northwest in general. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I think if I lived over there and I hadn't heard about this cult before and I just saw them, I would have been like, this is fucking cool. Let's go.
no,
Like,
I
I
would have
wouldn't
been
have
there like,
realized.
no, Sierra.
Yeah, right. She would have told you, I have a picture of Mothman. And you'd be like, yeah, let's go. Like, they would have gotten us if I didn't research this first. If I had found Ramtha's white book,
Kidnapped and it's like free puppies, but it's like
yeah,
photo of
a
Mothman.
photo of Mothman. Exactly. If I had found also
Oh
a
God,
fucking
that's
book,
funny.
okay. If I had found Ramtha's white book before I found This Is a Cult, I probably would have read that fucking book and talked about it on Bitch and Wine and gave it amazing reviews. I probably
Oh,
would have because it's so popular.
crazy.
It's all about that initial thing
Yeah.
of manifesting your own reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what she says after that.
That makes you not want to give her your money.
Exactly. Never give this woman your money.
Oh, sounds like she's got enough of it. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I need to go do some deep thinking about my own reality because that's
Yeah.
stressful.
It is. It's fucking
And
weird. All of
I
it.
also desperately need a shower because I'm gross. But for things that are not gross, do you have anything happy or exciting or something you're happy about or looking forward to? That was
Um,
English.
I don't know when this comes out, but I am going to 2 concerts in early
Who
August.
are you?
On August 2nd, we're going to see Luke Combs for Sissy's birthday. It's on her
That's
birthday.
gonna be a good one.
She's super excited.
It's very good
And
live.
then the next weekend, oh shit. No, okay, yeah, that's on a weekend. The next weekend, I was about to say, oh no, my timing is all wrong. But the next weekend after that, Jesse and I are going to see Hawthorne Heights. So that's
Be
super
fun.
exciting.
So mother-daughter date and date night. I like it.
Yeah, but also besides that, I wanted to say this episode comes out way after 4th of July because 4th of July was last week as we're recording and we record early. But I saw a meme that said something about me on the 5th of July or people on the 5th of July or whatever, and how it's spooky season now.
Hmm.
And I think that like it's true in like a psychological way for me because as soon as 4th of July was over, I have been like 100%. I've only been watching Gilmore Girls. I read that Pumpkin Spice Cafe book, which is about Gilmore Girls. I not about Gilmore Girls, but similar vibes. I got another book on Libby that is Gilmore Girl vibes. I can't stop eating junk food and making cookies and eating cookie dough. Like all of the Girl things, which is like my fall side, is just out. Like I am a Gilmore now after July 4th, apparently. That's how it happens.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I am not ready to give up on the sunshine as this is the first hot week here. And your
I
girl's got to
fucking
get
am.
back on her paddleboard and she's got some sun tanning to do and she's got some beachy times to have before we're ready for spooky season. But I did convince Kevin to celebrate Summerween with me this weekend. So we are
What
gonna.
is that?
It's just like Halloween in the summer, just like spooky
Yeah.
movies and
Did you
set
watch
up.
The Craft yet?
No, not yet. We're gonna watch
Oh my
that though.
gosh.
That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
He didn't want to watch it, and I was like, "What if I buy you candy and we make like
Has he seen it already?
seasonal fall things?" Yes, of course
Of
he has.
course.
But he's like, I really don't want to watch that. And I'm like, well, I don't get to watch movies really without you because my free time consists of hanging out with you and doing stuff for this podcast. So we gotta have a compromise here. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited to do that next weekend. That'll be my something thankful. It's on
Yeah.
topic of what we're talking about. We are gonna have candy and we are going to have some sort of apple spice situation, maybe a cooled version because it's hot as fuck right now. And I'm gonna put out cozy blankets to sit on, not put ourselves under because it's hot right now. And we're gonna watch something spooky.
That's great. Tell me your favorite movie candy.
My favorite movie candy is peanut butter M&Ms because I can mix them in with my popcorn.
Yeah. Okay.
What
The
about
only
you?
correct answer is Bunch of Crunch, but
Okay,
that's okay.
we don't even have that here. So how can I answer
What?
Bunch of
You
Crunch
don't
if
have
I've never
Bunch of
had Bunch
Crunch?
of Crunch?
Oh
No.
my God. How
Add
do
it
you
to your
not?
list of things to send me for Christmas.
That's insane. Oh my God.
What
Okay.
is Bunch of Crunch? Is it like nuts?
It's like a Crunch bar, except in
Oh, I
little
love
tiny
Crunch
circles.
bars. I love Crunch bars.
I hate Crunch bars. They're disgusting.
Really?
But when they're in little tiny circly
Then
nugget
they're
form,
okay.
they're delicious. They're
Oh,
the best.
I
It's
respect
the
that.
perfect amount of chocolate and crunch. It feels like popcorn in your hand. So you just like pick it up like popcorn, you know?
I'm
It's great.
here for it.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Huh. Well, maybe it will be my new favorite movie snack after I try it, and then I'll be upset with
Maybe
you that I can't have it regularly, like Dots pretzels.
you should be able to find it. If you have crunch bars, you should be able to find it somewhere.
It's probably an American thing. Americans were like, how can we take this and make more money from it? But maybe
Get yourself
over the
a
border.
crunch bar and just
Smash
break it up. Smash it up.
There we go. Let us know your favorite movie candies and let us know if you liked our podcast by leaving a 5-star rating and review and or joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We have lots of fun over there and some new gifts to be sending your way that we're really excited to reveal to you all. So it might have already been revealed by the time this comes out. Again, we're past, future, present. I never know what timeline we're on in this podcast, but we love you lots. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week for our first special topic episode. And in the meantime, keep it twisted.
Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alicia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.